see everyone here. We have a quorum, what we need, and understand that everything that we do here pertaining to the zoning will require 3 affirmative votes. So if any one person does not vote in an affirmative for that particular thing, if Commissioner Scales does not arrive, that motion will be defeated. With that being said, let's begin our meeting with a word of prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for Thee assembled here to do the business of Jefferson County. Dear Lord, we thank You for the commissioners. We thank You for all of our help that gets things done and improves the quality of life of our citizens of Jefferson County. Dear Lord, we thank You for all the blessings that You've given us and the transgressions You've forgiven us, dear Lord. We look to You for our guidance. We ask You for Your mercy. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I guess I should be able to start. That's all right. I'm going to start with the agenda number 2 because I think anyone say off here? Yeah, she's coming.
She's coming.
Okay. So she's coming, so I'm going to start off with number 2, Community Development and Health Services Committee, Cook Green. No items for Cook Green, no items for the corner. Department of Community Services. Doc, come on up.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
We have 5 items this morning. The first one is with SIM contracting for the renovation of the Center Point Community Center to award that to Sims Contractor in the amount of $219,219. Number 2 is Amendment 1 for J.D. Marsh Construction for the City of Brighton General Fund Storm Shelter. We just had to pull some money out of contingency in the amount of $6,579 for some work that needed to be done to connect the sewer to the storm shelter. The gas to the storm shelter. And the last 3 items are the standard senior center agreements for operational costs, one for Clay, one for St. John, Dolomite, and the city trustees.
Any questions from the commission? Any questions?
What's the cost of that community center going to be about, ballpark?
I'm sorry.
What's the cost of the community center? Going to be, I know we got this.
Center Point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's just a renovation. We just renovated the existing community center, and those renovations is $219,219.
Okay, so this is for the renovation.
Yes, renovation.
itself, not just for-
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll be looking fine.
We'll have a motion second. All in favor say aye. Number 5 has now been approved. District Attorney has the resolution for to adjust the salary of the DA's appointed positions. Do we know if that's been budgeted?
It's been
In their budget?
I know, I don't know if that's within their budget. How many
Commissioner, I think this is
commissioners?
the one that you all were gonna wait till this part of the year, I think, but that, there was gonna be a change, I think, you all voted on, is that the one you're talking about? I think that's what it is.
We do so much. Theo, thank you for reminding us, but do we have any clarification? Angela, do you know
I can't
if
recall.
they submitted a resolution? You know,
I'll
we're
have to
doing 2
follow up
things
with
at
Lena.
one time right now.
Yeah, I have to follow up with Lena on that one.
Yeah, if you all recall, I think the first of the year, the DA came and made a presentation to you all, that we should vote on. We're gonna make this, after, with the new budget. I think that's what this is, because it has some of the other folks with, but he came
Okay,
back.
this just brings it up. Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Passed unanimously. Sheriff? Wayne, we have North Central Alabama Highway Safety Office. traffic enforcement agreement with the sheriff. This is, no like there's any money involved in it.
That's right, Mr. President, it's just, this is our yearly agreement that allows us to enforce traffic laws on state highways, interstates, and things like that. It's an interagency agreement primarily with the DECA.
Well, that's good, just make sure we did.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion second, all in favor say aye. Have youth detention? Anyone here from youth detention?
Commissioner, it's just a renewal of their current contract. They have the
Okay,
track residents of their youth detention.
Move that.
have a motion. All in favor say aye. District two has one item of new business, really, it's a, one item of community grant. There's gonna be one item of new business that she's gonna put in there. That, because I'm joining her on the second one. So the one item that she has is for Mercury Golden for the parts. It's for $16,000. And there is one item of new business, which is to the Vesper Chamber of Commerce. It's gonna be an amount of $20,000 for District 2 and $20,000 for District 3. We split that, municipality, and the Chamber of Commerce needs some, capital renovations, and that's what this is to assist in. So, I'd like to entertain a motion for,
Good, I move
two,
I move the
first,
first
all right, have a motion.
one.
All in favor, say aye.
Second.
One item of new business.
This is the only item of new business we have. Anybody else got new business? I move for consideration of new business.
Have a motion for consideration of new business, and a second. All in favor, say aye. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Scales is right. All in favor, say aye. We did it, okay.
Now you passed. I think we did motion to consider. Did we do both?
The motion was done to consider, not to pass.
Right. I'm sorry. Motion.
Then, second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition, means passed unanimously. Thank you very much. Next, the Administrative and Infrastructure Committee, our Roads and Transportation has 3 items. Looks like, remember when I worked over Lowtown and Old Tuscaloosa Highway, with Gonzales Stream. We have City of Birmingham paving Shady Grove Road. We got them to participate in it, Chris?
Yes, sir. So we're gonna pay that in-house in fiscal year 25, and the city of Birmingham is gonna pay us that amount below to pay their portion. It's about half a mile.
Okay. And then we also have a release of a sanitary sewer quitclaim deed. Do we know where that is?
Yes, sir. It's in the Pinson area. It's off Woodland in the Woodhaven neighborhood on 75. It's a old sanitary sewer easement that was just never established with the infrastructure. So it'll release back to the private property owner.
Interesting. Okay, we have 3 items of road and transportation. Have a motion?
I just have a question on item 3.
Yes, sir.
Is this one of those situations where there's maybe an underground stormwater pipe or anything like that that's on these people's property that they may have an issue with at a later time and then come back to the county and say, well, that's you?
No, sir. This is just strictly a sanitary sewer easement for environmental services. So there's no stormwater infrastructure.
All right.
There's actually no infrastructure.
There's no infrastructure there now. Okay.
Correct.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, I think if the sewer line was still there, we
Keep.
gotta keep it. You like to give them all away, wouldn't
I will.
Move items 1 through 3.
you? All right, have a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
County attorney has the minutes from our November 21st meeting, and then we have claims. 9 of them, we looked at 8 of them. Any questions on these?
It's been properly vetted by the law department, right? Mr. Lawson? Okay.
Correct.
Move items 1 through 8. I see 1 through 8. You said 1 through 9.
9, yes.
so items 1 through 9.
Have a motion? Have a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
County manager has, 5 items. Cal, you wanna do this?
Sure, yes, sir. The first one's the EMS upgrades, ARPA funds, Minor Heights Fire Department, 29,000. Second one, ARPA drinking water, for the Lincoln Water Works Board, water line on Clayton Road. Third one is the ARPA resolution that was updated, finalizing the final kind of ARPA allocation. And then the fourth one is the Forestdale Fire Department ARPA project. We do have a typo on that one, that looks like,
Yeah, I was about to ask about pinning it.
yeah, in the description, it should be equipment for Forestdale Fire District, not to exceed 61,000.
Let me ask this. Excuse me. Go ahead.
I'm a little bit out of sequence on this. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. President.
Yes, please.
So on item 3 and 4, I know before on the last draft, we had one for minor fire district, and then we had one for Forestdale. My question is, based on what I see here today, is that number 3, we got about adopting, is that including minor, or is that not?
It includes it all.
Okay, and then I got number 4. Yeah, it was number 3 that I had a question about because it had a typo in the other draft. Am I making
Now,
sense?
on our number 3, is the drinking water transmission distribution. Is that what you're talking about?
No, well, see, he's looking at the old, president, and then that's what I just got from right here is what I have it up there. This must be the updated draft.
That might be the commission, not the committee, that might be the commission.
You may be able to. Cal, give me one, there you go.
Do we have an updated version other than what we got? I'm looking at these numbers, I've been,
It didn't look like what you got there.
so that number 3, not a fire line.
That's the actual commission.
Okay.
That's the
And
one.
the ones that people picked up right here were all on these items.
That's what went out. Yeah.
You just gonna have to put up what we did. We're gonna do what we were given.
Needs more sense.
And then you know, we need to get some more help.
That one's correct. The one you, what is in the email now?
All right.
I think she has a question, but let's get on the
No,
right
well, it sounds, is this what we're
This is
looking
what
at?
we're looking at.
Okay, so then, if this is what we're working on, Ms. Carter,
Yes.
then, there's a pen and ink county manager for 4 and 5, meaning there's a language that says minor heights in number 5 that should be in number 4, and then Forestdale should be standalone.
Yeah, and the resolution's correct, it's the summary in the agenda, so it's.
All right, but what she's saying is you've got 4 and 5, and it's saying the same thing for
Yeah, and
minor
so 5, which is Forestdale, from 61,000 is Forestdale,
All right.
so that needs to be corrected.
So then, Mr. President, with the action we need to take would
Sure.
be, for pre-commission, we would pass the items with the pen and ink changes to reflect number 4 is minor heights, number 5 would be everything fire sale.
Yeah, number 4 is correct. Number 5 is the one we're changing. Minor height, forest.
So you notice that, huh?
Well, yeah, well, that's what
I don't know when
All right, beneficiary agreement is 51, so it's 61.
No, it's 61, fine. But then on number 4, all of that is correct. It's just that number 5 language includes minor heights, and then they still have that 29,607.
I understand.
So do I need to just make the pending motion?
Yeah, I would, yeah. And you got it. Okay, as long as she's got it, it shows in the record, we're good.
Yes, sir. I move that we pass items 1 through 5 with the pending changes for number 5 to read, where we have purchase of fire equipment for, and it should be Forestdale instead of Minor Heights, and then the amount, delete 29,607, and it should be up to the 61,000 as noted.
What kind of equipment is
The, matter of fact, that is for,
fire equipment on both of them? I'm just curious.
no, that's fine. They had a number of things for, as you well know, that Forestdale is an unincorporated Jefferson County. So with that having said, they had, some of the needs pertaining to fire station number 2. I want to make sure I'm saying that correctly. Is that right, Mark? Okay, and so that is the one, Jimmy, that leads toward Adamsville, that particular fire station. But anyway, they needed some upgrades and they needed some additional working equipment so that they can be able to provide service for that corridor of 78.
Who provides it now? They do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's just upgrades.
Okay.
They just change, upgrade their equipment. You know, we do, try and do that as much as we can with these ARPA funds.
Your office has been doing a great job. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That takes care of that. The PIO we have nothing. District 3, other business, I had that new business that carried on from District 2. I do have a statement that I want to read, and I will do it now, instead of during our commission meeting. Will be pretty much self-explanatory. I'll pass it out after the meeting.
You will do it now or after?
I'm gonna do it right now. Because this is District 3 that we're working on, and get it out of the way. As an elected official dedicated to serve our community, I want to take a moment to share some personal news. Following a recent routine medical procedure, I was diagnosed with a treatable form of cancer. I've already begun treatment and will continue for the next several weeks. I will remain strong in my faith and committed to my responsibilities as I expect to work throughout my treatment. I will continue my duties as Commission President and serve the people of the 3rd District. I would like to acknowledge and thank my outstanding medical team at UAB in Jefferson County. We are so blessed to have the best medical professionals in the field serving our community. I'm truly grateful for the prayers and overwhelming support received from so many. Your love and encouragement strengthens my resolve and means the world to me, my wife, Mona, and my entire family. Thank you for your understanding and support as we move forward. God bless you and God bless Jefferson County. That's from me. I have begun the treatments. They show little or no side effects, and I am able to continue my duties and will continue to do so. I may miss a meeting or two, but besides that, it will be business as usual. The only thing that I ask you to do differently is to add me to your prayer list. With that being done, we will get through this and come out stronger on the other side. With that being said, I'm gonna turn this over to the Commissioner.
All right, we have finance. Ms. Dixon, we got 8 items.
Yes, Commissioner.
Do we have any questions on any of the items? If not, I'll ask for a motion.
Move items 1 through 8.
Commissioner, I just
Yes.
need to pull the 12
I was like,
All right, I got a motion on 1 through 8.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Lanier, do you have a question on the next?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sir.
I need to remove the item on page 9, youth detention trial.
All of them?
Yes, sir.
move, Mr. Chairman, if we can entertain this motion at this time. Move item 1 with, the deletion of the youth department or youth detention, their travel, as mentioned.
All right. I have a motion
I'll second.
and a second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. All right. Circuit clerk, we have 2 absentee manager. Well, we got this is kind of a little quick one. Absentee election manager, Bessemer Division, resolution to approve compensation for $9,000 to Betty Nelson. And a resolution to rescind previous resolution regarding absentee manager for Karen Brown Parks. Maybe that just got routed wrong, is that what it is?
Commissioner, she was not, Karen Dunbar on the ballot, so the election member that was appointed was set up, so, it needs to reflect that she was being paid tonight.
All right,
Move items 1 and 2 as printed.
have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Developmental Services, C-24-0039. Here we go.
Good morning to you too. Yeah, so this first case is a simple downzoning. The property is on I-3 as strip mining. The applicant wants to go to A1 agriculture just for some agricultural uses, keeping the bees, cultivation of trees, and creating habitat for deer, turkey, pumpkin planting purposes. So that's all it was on that one. It does comply with the policies of the land use plan, and the planning and zoning commission did recommend approval.
All right, well, we'll move them all to the agenda, keep going.
Okay.
C-24-0049.
All right, this is a request, this is actually at the corner of Morris Majestic, where Narrows and Newcastle and Bradford all come together down in the Crofton community. This is a request to go to C1 for a Dollar General store. Again, this does comply with the policies of the land use plan, which requires for these commercial activities to locate near these nodes of activity in the rural areas. And in fact, directly across the street is a convenience store that's been well established in the community for a while. Planning and zoning commission did recommend denial in this particular instance. That vote was 5-4, so it was a tight vote that did recommend denial. Again, are there any questions on this?
Why was it denied?
There was opposition at the planning and zoning hearing.
What is opposition to
It seems to be that way, yes, sir.
But let me ask you this, so even though you had denial, you're saying that this zoning is in the framework of the land use?
It does comply with the policies of the land use plan, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
The policies are somewhat relaxed in the rural areas just because we're dealing with low population and things like that. But it does call for consideration of commercial or institutional activities near these nodes of these major intersections.
what were some of the objections of the residents in that area?
Again, not wanting to see the proliferation of commercial uses in the area itself. There was some concerns about traffic or additional traffic that would happen at this intersection. Property and effect on property values, which is generally what we hear with rezoning request changes.
Isn't this in Birmingham?
No, this is in the narrows. This is up in Crofton.
Wait a minute, are we on item 2?
This should be 49, correct?
No, this is
Oh,
39.
50. Oh, sorry. That's a little out of order. I apologize for that. Item number 50. That was the carryover case from last month.
Oh, no, what it is that
I
you
apologize.
have to start sharing, because the paperwork is messed up. Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Well, the Dollar General.
The Dollar General, yeah, again, this is case 49. I apologize for that. I didn't realize that they were.
Dollar General before had people on one, how many people were in opposition?
There were, the business owner from across the street was there. as well as, I believe it's the property owner of the business who were there in opposition as well.
Property owner of the existing.
Of the existing business across the street, who also lives in the area that spoke in opposition. Since the hearing, we have received several letters of support. Some of those are in your packet. We have received letters of opposition. Those are in your packet. And since we published the reports and everything, and I believe those in your diets for you, we have received some additional letters, some in support, some in opposition.
The zoning board recommends denial.
Recommended denial, yes, sir, in a very, very slow vote.
I'll move to the agenda.
All right.
Go ahead.
Continuing on, apology, and this is, we're going back to case number 50, which is the second one that's on our agenda. Yeah, I apologize for that confusion. Item number 50, or case number 50, which is the second item, going backwards. This is a request to remove, there's some I-4 light industrial zoning on this particular property. This request is to remove that industrial zoning off the property and zone the entire property to A1. The intent of the use, from what I understand, is to have a dog kennel on the property, which is allowed in A1 zone.
Did we get that resolved? I think we had some questions last.
Yes, and the applicant, we did inform the applicant to be here at this hearing.
Okay, good.
Any questions on that item? Okay. Next on the agenda, case number 51. This is a request, this is a downzoning request to go from R4, which is multifamily, to A1 for agricultural. This property was zoned R4 back in the 1970s, and it hasn't been developed. Much of this area is close to where the Lake Curry Water Reserve is. And so this would remove that threat of the more intense use of apartments in the property. The intent here is to have a large, it's about a 40-acre tract. They plan to carve out 1 acre of it just for one simple homestead.
Isn't this near Liberty Park?
Somewhat,
More
yes.
toward Irondale?
Yes, it's sort of between 280 and Liberty Park, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so planning and zoning did
They
approve.
recommend approval, yes,
Did
ma'am.
you have any residents in the area
No.
that?
There was no one, yeah, no, there wasn't anybody in opposition or support, other than the applicants.
Good. Yeah, I can't think of anyone who'd want to trade 50 homes for one house. Or who would be against it. Especially if you have nice homes in the area. That's my
Well, when
thought.
I think of multifamily, are we talking about apartments that?
Yes, ma'am. It's zoned, currently it's zoned for apartments.
Yeah.
And they're down going into agricultural again, just for that large acreage and the one homestead.
Well, we don't come back and say, well, now we own 60 homes on that.
I believe most of the property is in a conservation easement, so they'd have to go through some legal wrangling.
I was about to say, so then if we did look in the affirmative, do you believe that we needed to put some key conditions so that it did not exceed
No,
certain amount?
I think all that's taken care of through private hands.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Johnson.
Morning, Commissioners. So this is Z24-0052. This is a case that you've seen earlier this year that came across at Lee George Loop Road as an RG request for garden homes. Since then, we've worked with the applicant, his representative, as well as their engineers to refine their plan. So their new request is to go to basically 61 residential R1 lots with 3 estate lots, and they're dedicating, or I guess, they're rezoning the cemetery that's on the property to the appropriate zoning classification. So it's a request from A1 to R1, E1, and CEM1 for cemetery district. So essentially, they went from having roughly 30, 45 foot lot widths to 75. Their average square footage for their homes is about 2,000 square feet, which is consistent with our estate district. And they are also providing an emergency access on Hannah Lane to the rear property to comply with the International Fire Code. Now, it is just going to be a secondary access that's not fully finished. Hannah Lane is about 16 feet wide. After talking with the applicant, they were willing to do a full secondary access, any improvements that would have to be made on Henry Lane, we think it would be more efficient and beneficial to let that just stay as it is and just leave it as an emergency access. So P&Z's recommendation for this case was approval with additional buffering requirements. Those recommendations are not within our zoning ordinance. The buffering really would be for the residents across the street, which is 16 feet of right-of-way, line of shoulder. And so we couched that recommendation internally with our staff and are just recommending approval subject to the satisfactory completion of a traffic study that shows there will be no degradation of service on New George Loop Road or Belleville Road.
How are we coming with our new, RG and the new lot size and our zoning recommendations?
Yes, sir.
We have
Yes, sir. We've gotten the entire zoning ordinance completely updated in draft form. We're currently working with our county manager's office on refining that draft.
Is any commissioner seen it?
No, sir. We wanted to vet that through the county manager's office before we.
County manager, are you happy with it?
Well, after you vetted it, y'all are happy with it, we'll be happy with it.
Well,
They have put a lot of
do we have a
work into it.
timeline when we're gonna see it?
I think by the next commission meeting, we can have it,
Yes,
have it to them. Not formally, but it will be done. And I appreciate all the hard work they put into getting this, ahead of schedule.
Let me ask this question, being that it is a policy that we're talking about, has this gone before the law department to make sure that we are covering all
Absolutely.
aspects?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because that's what makes me feel more comfortable, knowing that we cover the legal aspects of it.
Yes, ma'am. I would imagine the process would be we would vet that through the county attorney's office before we do anything official. We want to make sure we got all the legal basis and stuff.
I just didn't hear the word legal, law department. Okay.
Going back to 240052, what was the original request? Wasn't it pretty dense?
Yes, sir. I would consider it a medium density request for RG Garden Homes. I want to say it was over 100 something lots.
And now we're
I
down
think it was
to,
101.
101, yes,
and
sir.
now we're down to,
So 61 plus 3 estate lots and of course the cemetery one.
yeah, I think I had some concerns about the cemetery at one time, and we're good with those.
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you.
And they're also, I failed to mention, they're providing side-loaded garages, so 75 feet of frontage plus side-loaded garages that should at least mitigate on-street parking for emergency service access.
Go to number, yeah, 0053.
Yes, sir, again, this is a down zoning request, and you see on the property, you see the two different zoning classifications. I believe it was in the early 80s that there was a portion of this property that was zoned IO, which is obnoxious odors. At the time, they had a slaughterhouse on the property. That operation has since gone away, and they're just simply requesting to rezone the entire property to A1 agriculture. No opposition to P&Z, blocking policy of the land use plan. P&Z recommended approval.
0054.
This is a lot that's within a recently approved subdivision. This is off of Shannon Road. You may remember the zoning case, it was a little over a year ago, I believe. This one lot they want to dedicate for utility purposes, which technically isn't allowed under its current RG zoning. So they're rezoning this one lot to U1 utilities to provide for a pump station for the Birmingham Water Works Board that will serve the neighboring subdivision. P&Z did recommend approval with a condition for the building to be architecturally compatible with surrounding residential development. At this time, there isn't any residential development in that subdivision yet, and so that it sort of raised a question of how it is that that's supposed to be enforced. This comes before the residences on the property. The applicant has been made aware of what P&Z's recommendation was. Staff just recommends a simple approval.
Well, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be a metal building. Okay.
Okay. Again, that's at the pleasure of the commission.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, what's the station gonna look like?
That we have not received any draft of that. They just simply came in to ask for the rezoning in order to place it on the property. So.
God,
I'll say, Commissioner, what we could do in this instance, and tell me if I'm wrong, Michael, we could just recommend that the structure be built with natural materials. That would be more preferable to the
okay.
competition, such as brick, something like that. And that would keep it from being just
That
prefab.
would keep that from happening. And, we try to make everything congruent to the neighborhood. And if it's, you really just don't wanna see a shed
Yes, sir.
or a metal building out there, in the middle of it. Hopefully they'll put a nice subdivision in,
Yes, sir.
and you want it to people be proud of it, say, well, that's where we get our water.
Yes, sir.
And, that's as unintrusive as we can get it. That's the intent of the commission. And, or my intent anyway, this is Commissioner, Tyson's district, but it was mine for many years.
Well, it says, any building on the property shall be architecturally compatible with the surrounding residential areas, so let's just gotta refine that.
Right, again, because there is a
They
surrounding
build
residential
it,
area
yeah.
right now.
They build that before they build anything around
There's
it.
a pump station, how much digging and all that they're gonna have to do to put that in
As far as for the pump station itself,
there?
just enough to tap into the water system that's already in place.
So you propose, Mr. President, that, metal framing and so forth be added to the language? Or you do not?
The metal inside is all right, but I don't want anything that would be,
The exterior of.
exterior that would cause that. We want it to look good.
My question is, these are things we added to the language, so.
If they can figure out a way to do it,
We can say, I think, Josh, we can say natural materials and or masonry.
natural materials.
Alright, any
And
further
is
questions?
that dependent, we're gonna probably do
Yes, ma'am.
natural material?
Natural materials and or masonry.
Do I have a motion on 1 through 7 moving?
Move items 1 through 7.
Second,
Wait a minute, move items 1 through 7, go through,
with all the recommendations.
all recommendations.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
EMA, we got, Polygon Software, West. We have a lane system, so there's all the sirens that go off at once. This is the grant setup. That is the document, so, I'll motion to approve it.
I do.
Aye.
All in favor? Amendment 4, Birchville and Well and Associates, Central Plan Control Facility Project, Mr. Martin.
Yes, sir, this is the animal control site where we have to go back and get a final survey so we can the old right of way properly and then core the new right of way and meet all of Birmingham's zoning requirements in and of itself.
Do I have a motion?
Move the item.
Motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? All in favor say aye. 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 District 4, other business, got a proclamation. We have a board reappointment, JEFFCO Planning and Zoning Commission to reappoint Kenneth Lowry. Got a board appointment, Jefferson County Board of Zoning and Adjustment, Grant Aldridge. That's a reappointment. Infrastructure grant is 4, 5, and 6.
Move items 1 through 6.
I'm on, hold number 6, but I'll do that.
You want to withdraw?
No, I'll move it to the agenda, but just move it to the next agenda.
Oh.
But I'll do that
Before
when
you
we
lay
get
it
to
up. All right, move items 1 through 6 to the agenda.
Have a motion?
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That concludes my report.
All right. Commissioner Foley, Information Technology and Economic Development.
We have mentioned today, economic development information voice over IP telephone system. Third one is for our Varonis file and data auditing software system. And number 4 is for we're implementing a new IT service desk system. For that, we are purchasing an amendment for additional licenses for AI Copilot. And the 5th one is federal grant for a state and local government cybersecurity grant program that our state is administering, and we'll be expecting funds coming from it.
Second. I'll move to other items of business.
Second. Go ahead, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you for this. What do you have, you bid?
We've already done it.
Yeah, we've done it.
Oh, we did do one? Why did we do one? Oh, you were.
Now, Commissioner Scale.
Yes, sir, thanks. For Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations, we have one item on the board presented. I don't know, I didn't see this tonight, but does anyone have any questions as relates to this item? Resolution.
Software, I'll do it.
Okay. It's been moved, and need a second. It's been moved and properly seconded, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All right, we have 2 items on environmental services. I saw David Dinner out there, but do we have any questions as relates to, the first item is a UV disinfection system, and it's an upgrade to Valley Creek WRF. Do we have any questions as relates to that item?
David, how long will that take to put in? Good time.
Contract is probably more than 2 years, but it's probably gonna take 9 months to a year just to get the equipment, so. Kind of equipment, electrical equipment, takes a long time to get right.
Any other questions? Seeing none, do we have any questions as relates to item number 2? All right, can I have a motion for items 1 and 2? All right, it's been moved and properly seconded, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. No items under general retirement, no other business as relates to human resources, compliance, personnel, nor District 1 business. Thank you, gentlemen.
Wow. Got through that pretty quickly.
Can we get an updated version of what our agenda looks like for the second part of this?
Just so we could down out here.
All right, what was that what you had sent? You know, mine, it's sitting here on the back there. Oh, we probably need to wait for 9. Do you? Yeah, I understand. It gives us a minute or 2 to. Got picture one. Birmingham Bowl. That's right, we can do